Harry's wife. She's preparing for a nasty custody fight. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Rumours and speculation continues to swirl around the Sussexes. Harry apparently has his bolt holes, San Vicente bungalows, and another place that he retreats to. The press have unearthed that, and the denial that has been issued by the Sussex camp doesn't seem to have held up. Repeatedly, we see instances of Harry not looking happy. Rumours circulate about the fact that they are actually no longer together, but just appear for the sake of appearances' sake in order to keep the money train going. I have provided you, of course, with my observations and insight so that you understand how likely these things are when you're dealing with a narcissist and her victim. The fact that we know that she is a narcissist provides us with particular insight and understanding as to what is likely to be going on between the two of them, because those dynamics don't change. Custody battles are probably one of the most difficult things that the non-narcissist victim will ever come across when dealing with a narcissist. Notwithstanding the fact that that individual has been abused by the narcissist in a variety of forms, they feel to a degree that they're able to cope with it. But when it involves their children, their offspring, as I have witnessed, it takes it to another level. Numerous people that I advise through consultation have found themselves dealing with difficult co-parenting situations, including savage custody battles being played out in court. By understanding what they're dealing with in terms of knowing that it's a narcissist, understanding the type of narcissist they're involved with, and receiving my expert input with regard to the presentation of evidence and the pressure points to hit, I'm able to help them navigate through that process to achieve a successful outcome. The fact is that when it comes to a custody fight, the narcissist does not love their children, as I've explained in a separate video. The children are simply pawns that are to be utilised for the purpose of asserting control over them, but moreover to get to the bigger prize, which is the former intimate partner primary source. As I have explained in my excellent book, Fuel, the potency of the fuel that comes from the former intimate partner primary source is the very top of the tree. It outranks every other category of appliance. Beautifully powerful, sweet and potent. And the narcissist, either consciously or subconsciously, wants and needs that fuel. And therefore, continuing a custody battle is a way of provoking a reaction in that former intimate partner primary source to control them and also to draw fuel. It's also done by certain narcissists to manage their facade, to say to the world, I'm a good parent, he or she is not. Some narcissists don't bother with a custody battle. They're not interested. They focus elsewhere and walk away from it. But many do. And it isn't, although they will say it is, because they love the children. It is because they need to assert control over those children, other people affected by the breakup, and chiefly the former intimate partner primary source, who is painted black and is seen as the devil incarnate. As I've explained elsewhere in my recent series about parental alienation, that often comes up in the context of a custody battle because either the narcissist has been prevented from seeing the children because of their own conduct, and the evidence supports that. Thus, they allege that they've been subjected to parental alienation as a means of denying and deflecting their own behaviour. Or they engage in parental alienation themselves by brainwashing the children so that they turn against the non-narcissist parent. I have advised many people with regard to both of those situations. Assuming that the children exist, there is likely to be a custody battle for them. The reason being is that it's likely that at a near future point, Harry's wife is going to disengage from Harry. The two most likely reasons will be that he essentially breaks down, stroke is of no use to her, or she's found somebody else. Already we know that apparently she's out on the party circuit, undoubtedly sniffing out her next victim. She, of course, won't see it that way. She will regard herself as unhappy in a loveless marriage with a difficult temperamental ginger who takes drugs and doesn't help out with the children as much as he should do. Notwithstanding what efforts Harry makes, and notwithstanding how good a father he may well be, her narcissism will simply not allow it to be acknowledged when he's painted black, and instead she will be smearing him. It is not a calculated campaign on her part, but a reaction to when he threatens her sense of control. It's increasingly the case that he's unlikely to bow down to her, and thus he will continue to threaten. So when he questions her about something and she erupts, rather than him back down and try and placate her, he's more likely to argue back or just simply remove himself, heading off to one of his bolt holes. That will not give her the satisfaction of the control that she subconsciously craves, and therefore she's likely to complain about his behaviour to somebody else, her lieutenants, members of the coterie, Gail King, most notably her own mother, Doria, the few friends that she has. He's gone and done this, you know. I only asked him if he'd look after Lilibet for a little while so that I could go out and buy some more beige clothing, and he just went off it and then stormed off. I don't know where he's gone. This portrays him as an uncaring individual. And of course, each and every time where Harry threatens her control and she's not able to assert control over him directly, she will do so much of the time indirectly, which results in smearing. And thus those around her start to hear a picture of him being a drug taker, of lies being told about him, perhaps suggesting that he's been horrible to the children, horrible to her, suggestions of physical violence, and so forth. And it all starts to paint a picture, further fracturing any support network that Harry might have, and also, of course, having the useful collateral consequence for the narcissist that when the shit does hit the fan and the custody battle erupts, there will be certain witnesses to come forward and say, yes, she told me about the fact that Harry was always in the garden smoking ganja. Yes, I remember on this occasion she came to me all distressed because Harry had hit her, yada, yada, yada. I've seen it so many times in those that I advised. But there is a suggestion that this inevitable custody battle has Harry's wife gearing up for it already. It comes courtesy of soapspoiler.com and an article by Benice Emmanuel. As always, I leave it up to you to determine the veracity of this material. But the article tells us, is Harry's wife preparing for a nasty custody battle with the monarchy? That's what some people can't help but wonder, as there are more and more reports suggesting the former Hollywood actress is looking to walk away from her marriage to Prince Harry. But it won't be easy for her. That's because she will end up fighting for her kids in what most likely will be the royal custody battle of the century. Here's what you need to know. While no one knows if the divorce rumours are true or not, reports say that there's a very good chance that the Sussex children will be taken away from their mother. This is especially true for Archie, as he is in the royal lineage. There is also a very good chance that the royal family won't let Archie stay in California with Harry's wife, just like the royals did not allow Harry and William to stay with Princess Diana when she was still alive. Not only that, but it's also been noted that both the kids are in the line of succession, which means King Charles is actually their legal guardian. It will certainly be a fight to the very finish, but it will also be a fight that Harry's wife won't win, especially if she will be forced to go up against the monarchy's lawyers. Of course, both Prince Harry and Harry's wife have not made any comments about the divorce rumours. They haven't confirmed any of the reports, nor have they denied it. But if the Sussexes do pull the plug on their marriage and Harry ends up going back to the United Kingdom to his family, there's a strong possibility that he will bring his two children, Archie and Lilibet, with him. That is, if Harry's wife doesn't stop him. Watch this space, as we have a feeling that it's going to be a very nasty custody fight that will dominate the headlines for many years to come. That said, Buckingham Palace has not made any comment about the matter, and the rumours about Harry and Harry's wife's supposed divorce have not been confirmed. We'll update you with all the latest the moment it comes in. So really just a piece of tittle-tattle that has been issued by soapspoiler.com that doesn't provide any meaningful evidence whatsoever in terms of separation, divorce, and that it will be a nasty custody battle. However, tittle-tattle as it is, it does provide me with an opportunity to give you further insight into the narcissistic dynamic. I'm not a lawyer, and I am unfamiliar with the basis on which perhaps King Charles, as legal guardian, may be able to exercise rights that would trump that of Harry's wife as the mother of the children in a separate jurisdiction. The fact is, irrespective of the strength of either party's position, Harry's wife will fight. Why? Because any suggestion of the removal of the children is a threat to her control, and her narcissism tells her that she loves the children, although as a narcissist she cannot. And that will motivate her to resist. It will mean that as part of that, she will throw as much mud as possible for the purposes of smearing both Harry and, of course, King Charles, in order to nullify the threat to control posed by any attempt to remove the children from her. This will be seen as one of the major threats to control that can occur. Remember, Harry's wife, as a mid-range narcissist, holds herself out as a good and kind person, which means she sees herself as a supermum. Albeit, as I've explained elsewhere, the likelihood is that other people are involved in the bringing up of the children, and they are simply little mirrors, little extensions of herself for her own uses. The fact is that when it comes to the suggestion of somebody taking them away from her, this will offend her need for control, resulting in her rolling out all methods of manipulations in order to nullify that. There'll be very public declarations about Harry's behaviour and conduct. He will be smeared beyond recognition, as will the royal family as a whole, and indeed it will be a nasty custody fight. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.